So, this one's gonna be again about SEAL training and SEALs and being a Navy SEALs and this shit. Because it's great and because I assume there's a lot of value for you and for me in this certain summary actually this time. It's not an article, it is a summary, but more after the intro. The not fake intro, but me, or by me considered a fake intro, even though it is not. But yeah. With that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. I do hope that the audio is fine. I do just have as well my blanket on my desk, therefore the echo shouldn't be as severe as it would be without. I hope you're doing fine. I'm doing great. I'm pretty fucking pumped to be here and go through this one. You know, even though I'm a little bit stressed because I have nothing I haven't quite done anything for, whether the podcast or rather, I haven't done anything for the podcast or for the other social media platforms. Therefore, I have to do the entire thing from now to basically in 4 hours, because I should actually go to bed in 4 hours. Yeah. And out of these 4 hours, I do have to subtract 1 hour of workout because I haven't done this as well. But yeah, that's totally fine. It's totally okay. We are going ahead with the summary. And I think I'm actually not going to do such a short version this time just because, I want to have a longer one just as well once again. But yeah, we discussed the first principle the last time. Therefore, we're going ahead with the second principle today. There again was some encoding issue. I do hope there was no lag or something. But we're going ahead with the principle 2 from, I think it is 7 actually, or it could be either 7 or 10, which is something that is in my mind. I don't know why, but 7 or 10, I'm fucking pumped. And yeah, I'm going ahead with the summary. Principle 2 and principle 1 we have gone through on the first episode, so therefore check out the first episode. I think it's only, 25 minutes or something. You can also listen it as a podcast, which is a great thing because you're saving quite a lot of time. And if you aren't subscribed right now or yet, subscribe right now. You know, you're not gonna regret this. You know, also if you're on a podcast, subscribe to it because there's always gonna be just some content every single day, at least one episode. But yeah, principle 2, developing your front sight focus. Whatever it is, I don't fucking know. Divine, I hope I actually pronounce him correctly because I still don't know. So Divine explains that in the SEAL world, there are 2 different types of goals. The first type is large, long-term goals. And these goals are designed to define your end state. Secondly, you'll have sub-goals or short-term goals. These goals are there to outline how you plan to get to the long-term goals. So, which is your path? No, it's raining. I actually wanted to work out today outside because I thought it would be great because I'm having to do legs today, unfortunately. It is really not some so bad shit, I have to say. Working on legs might not be just as great as working out something else still. It's not as bad as, I don't know, just only working out, I don't know, my fucking ass, would be just way more fucked up than my legs. But yeah, I have heard this kind of way of living, let's say it like this, before in another context, but I can't remember where I've heard it. This is the bad part about it. But yeah, it makes sense. You basically, I think it was a whole discussion, quote unquote, on tactics versus strategy, because strategy is something that is long term, as I think Seth Godin actually said, but I'm not quite sure. I think it was, but as I said, I'm not sure. The thing is, a strategy is something that's long term. Tactic, on the other hand, is something that is short term and often leads to the end goal, which then is somehow the strategy. I hope it was this one, and I think it should be true, which is, some minor shit, something that you should not get caught up by just because, it is something that is okay, we are debating about a fucking definition of 2 fucking words. Therefore, it is not so important. But let's see, and I go ahead. So Divine explains that a mission may have multiple different targets to be reached in order to achieve the end goal. However, the mission is still completed as one. He explains that SEALs are trained to work through one mission at a time. See it through till completion before they may move to another. Divine outlines 4 strategies you can use when facing challenges and obstacles. We'll explain these in more detail below. I do think that something that I picked up there, and something that I kind of feel like, well, I haven't shown you even. I'm sorry. So there it is. If you want to read it as well, for all these people that are on the video right now, you can read it now. The thing is, it just makes sense that I do believe that it is quite a great way to focus on one thing at a time. Some system, I want to say, somehow, that somehow got established. I do not want to say got established just because it might be around for such a long time, but the book, The One Thing, so The One Thing, is a book that is basically only talking about, okay, having the one thing, which, whatever it might be for you, which in the end is the most important thing, which, with more context means that you should just focus on the thing that just, is the most important one, or the most important thing, whether it be just, working out for you, whether it be just some specific part of your work that you do every single day, which actually is the most important thing, that you should always focus on this one, if I remember correctly. But, as I'm thinking about it right now, it would just totally make sense as well that you just do the most important thing at first. If it is just in your work, or if it is about work or working, then actually doing the most important thing at first, maybe in the morning, because there is the most productive state of your mind and or of your body. Probably because it is actually the case for me. Like, I'm the most productive, I guess, in a really early morning. Even though I'm really not able to record that because I'm just shouting around like a fucking idiot, which would wake up just a few people in my house, which wouldn't be that nice. I'm not willing to be responsible for them being awake. But the thing is, it just makes sense at my point of view. And I think you should actually, I don't know. Like, the thing is, doing it at first might make sense, but it would also make sense to actually do it then when you have the most energy, and, at this certain point in time where it is just the best for you. For me, it might be in the very early morning, where I'm the most productive, where I can just work basically without getting distracted and whatsoever. But there might be just some different time for you, which is totally fine and totally okay. Maybe just put the most important things into this certain time point or time period or time span, so that you can be ensure or be sure that this certain work or this certain part of your work is just getting the best attention and or the proper attention it somehow deserves, maybe. But yeah, let's move on. So the 4 strategies, are the visualize the end goal? Well, yeah, I guess these are the 4 strategies, but I'm not quite sure. So prepare the mind, which is the first one. The first step, so I guess it is the 4 strategies. The first step when trying to prepare your mind ready for a challenge is to calm down. A racing mind is going to be unhelpful in stressful situations. Divine recommends using controlled deep breaths to slow your mind and your body to gain back control. He explains that by controlling your breath, you are able to bring your focus into the present moment, or what Divine calls front sight. Okay. So by doing this, you will essentially settle your mind down, which will quieten, or is it? I think it's quieten all the background noise you are used to, or you are used it. You are used it. Settle your mind down, which will quieten all that background noise you are used it. I think it's just more like you're used to, but yeah. So focusing on your breathing will also allow you to prevent your mind from wandering and will improve your self-control. The whole self-control and kind of focusing on shit stuff is probably well taught by meditation. Because It also depends on what kind of meditation you're doing. Because the thing is, a lot of people think like meditation is only just sitting around, just doing something, well, or just thinking, or actually not thinking. But in fact, as I remember, or as far as I know at least, there's just multiple types of meditation. There for sure is going to be a type of meditation where you're moving around, where you're actually doing stuff. Actually, that's types of meditation. Let's see if there's something. Loving kindness meditation. With the many types of meditation to try, there should be one to suit most individuals. Well, yeah. Well, actually, medical news today. I assume it is somehow a trustworthy kind of source. Types of meditation. Let's actually kind of hit this up pretty quickly. Let's actually see. I would like to have another source. No, to have another source there. Display capture, window capture. I'm sorry that I'm having to do this right now, but I hope that I'm going to prevent my PC from just exploding by doing this, actually, to some degree. I don't know if you can see it there, but I'm gonna not show myself. But yeah, it should be okay, I guess. I could also just... Yeah, now you can see it for sure. Let's just do it like this. Yeah, now it is nice. So, no. Thanks a lot. Thanks. So, the first kind of meditation that I'm at least seeing here, I don't know if this is just... well, it is from the medical news, or www.medicalnews, medical news today, sorry, I can't talk today, .com, and it is from 2017, I guess. So fast facts on types of meditation. Within each type of meditation, there are several subtypes to discover and practice, which is something that I by now have seen just right now. Just because, well, yeah, in my type of meditation, or that I was originally doing, because nowadays it is somehow a little bit fucked up, to be honest, because I am meditating, but I'm not doing it with a guided version. I think until, I don't know, 5 weeks ago or something, I was always doing the guided meditation thing with, what is it called? What is it called? It just went out of my mind. Headspace. Yeah, of course. It is Headspace. It is an app, you can also just play it in your browser, whatever. It is insanely good, at my point of view. It is just really good. The thing about it is that, first of all, a lot of just... I think they group it in sessions somehow. There are certain different sessions on certain and/or different problems that you might be having, which might be anxiety or just feeling bad, sadness, whatever it will be. There are just various types of meditations for these particular just reasons or situations or whatever it might be. The thing is, I've done them and they are guided and they're insanely good, and I would totally suggest you to also start with guided meditations, which basically means there's going to be a voice that is telling you what to do. This is what guided means. In general, the meditation thing is, at my point of view, it works. At my point of view, it is totally great. I don't actually know if it taught me something or if it taught me something, or if it actually just benefited me in any way, just because I've been doing it for quite a year, 2 years now. And, well, I would actually not do it to actually see the benefits of it. Just because I am in my state, I'm in my normal state in which I am just all the fucking time. Therefore, I can't tell, if there's any benefit of doing it or not. But I would say, well, try it out and see for yourself, just because, I guess, you can actually just tell better than I'm actually doing. Just because, okay, if you're starting right now and 5 weeks from now, even though, some people say, okay, you just have to meditate for 6 months until you see any fucking result or something or any benefit. I'm not quite sure. I'm really not quite sure, but yeah, you will see. And maybe you will just also see if there's some benefit or not. But yeah, you're just really having to do it for quite some time, I guess. But what I originally wanted to say is that with Headspace, you do just also have different types of meditation inside of one singular, let's say, package or session of meditation, which could be good, which could also be bad. I don't know, because I'm really not educated in this space. Well, yeah. The second thing is meditation teaches how different ideas about how frequently a person should meditate or meditate. I'm sorry, I'm showing you. And the last one is it is fine to blend types or to test different approaches until the right one is found. But yeah, so to actually go ahead with the real kind of types of meditation, well, it is actually kind of a long one. It is, yeah, we should be able to go through it right now. I think, I hope it is okay, to be honest, because I don't know. And I'm just really thinking about if I should place myself somewhere here. Yeah, never mind. So the first one is the loving kindness meditation. Loving kindness meditation is also known as metta meditation. Its goal is to cultivate an attitude of love and kindness toward everything, even a person's enemies and sources of stress. While breathing deeply, practitioners open their minds to receiving loving kindness. They then send messages of loving kindness to the world, to specific people, or to their loved ones. In most forms of this meditation, the key is to repeat the message many times until the practitioner feels an attitude of loving kindness. Loving kindness meditation is designed to promote feelings of compassion and love, both for others and oneself. It can help those affected by anger, frustration, resentment, or interpersonal conflict. This type of meditation may increase positive emotions and has been linked to reduce depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress or PTSD. I don't know, it just makes sense. It really reminds me of one of the words that I actually was searching for, I think in yesterday's episodes, or at least one episode of them as well. Is it an affirmation? I think it is. I think it is called affirmation, where you just actually somehow you're having certain sentences or a certain kind of, well, let's say text even. It is a text that you're repeating over and over and over again until you somehow believe in it. Which might work or might not work. The thing is, I totally believe in the subconscious mind. I totally believe in it as just being very fucking powerful. And I think it is actually proven that it is actually powerful. The thing is, I guess, okay, if you're telling yourself just for a certain period of time, or actually for quite a long period of time, that you are a certain person, that something is a certain way, that whatever you're going to tell you or whatever you're telling you, I guess, just after a certain period of time, your mind will actually believe in it. I assume, I guess. And, well, yeah, it could work. It could definitely work. But I'm not quite sure, I'm really not sure. Might be really interesting. So if you're just doing some affirmation stuff, which might be even the reason, because you can often see it on Instagram, for example, where people are like, well, this is the affirmation cycle maybe, and let's go through it or something like this. I think a lot of people are doing it, because there wouldn't be any content if nobody would do it. Therefore, if you know it, put it down in the not in the description, but into the comment section. A lot of people will benefit from it, and also me, which is also great. The second thing is a body scan or progressive relaxation, which is something that I did as well. In this Headspace thing, or with Headspace, I think it was actually the first thing you were doing, which also makes sense, I think, as a, from a structural point of view, to scan your body at first. It really creates, I think you just really get to know your body as well. Just because you see, okay, my left leg is hurting. Okay, why could it be the case? And, well, you shouldn't think about it that way. You shouldn't really think of different things while you're meditating or while you're in your meditation. You should just recognize it and see it and then move on. You shouldn't engage with it. You shouldn't just think about it. Relatively, I think, strange, not really strange, but difficult at first, I guess. But yeah, let's see what they're actually saying. So Progressive relaxation, sometimes called body scan meditation, is meditation that encourages people to scan their bodies for areas of tension. The goal is to notice tension and to allow it to release. During a progressive relaxation session, practitioners start at one end of the body, usually their feet, and work through the whole. I've actually started on the head, or through headspace, you start with the head, which is also, I think, pretty great. I don't know. Some forms of progressive relaxation require people to tense and then relax muscles. Others encourage a person to visualize a wave drifting over the body to release tension. Progressive relaxation can help to promote generalized feelings of calmness and relaxation. It may also help with chronic pain, because it slowly and steadily relaxes the body. Some people use this form of meditation to help them sleep. Could also work. The thing is, there were actually some sessions, or maybe they were called packages. I don't remember, unfortunately. Some packages on Headspace, and I'm really not sponsored or some shit like this. Maybe some people think it. I guess not. If actually, if actually kind of have a just look at my subscribe account, which might say something, might also not. But the thing is, I guess it can really help. Especially with relaxing your body, because you're actually just going through the whole body, just looking for just some tension and trying to release it. I think it really can help. It really can help, I assume. But yeah, the mindfulness meditation, which is actually, I think, the most common form of meditation, where you're basically, if I know correctly, but I guess we'll see in a second, it is like, it is really like sitting around, and I think just keeping an eye on your mind and what you're thinking, and so that you're actually not thinking something. But let's actually see, because I actually don't know. Like, as I said, I'm not really the most educated person in the whole meditation thing, even though I am meditating. So mindfulness is a form of meditation that urges practitioners to remain aware and present in the moment. Rather than dwelling on the past or dreading, the future, mindfulness encourages awareness of a person's exciting surroundings. Crucial to this is a lack of judgment. So rather than reflecting on the annoyance of a long wait, a practitioner will simply note the wait without judgment. Basically the same exact thing that I was talking about before, as, okay, you're gonna see the tension and you're gonna feel the tension, but you're not gonna interact with it. You're just seeing it, but you're doing nothing with it, basically. Mindfulness meditation is something people can do almost anywhere. While waiting in line at the grocery store, for example, a person might calmly notice their surroundings, including the sights, sounds, and smells they experience. A form of mindfulness is involved in most kinds of meditation. Breath awareness encourages practitioners to be aware of their breathing, while progressive relaxation draws attention to areas of tension in the body. Because mindfulness is a theme common to many forms of meditation, it has been extensively studied. Research has found that mindfulness can reduce fixation on negative emotions, improve focus, improve memory, lessen impulsive emotional reactions, and improve relationship satisfaction. Some evidence suggests mindfulness may improve health. For example, a study of African American men with chronic kidney disease found that mindfulness meditation could lower blood pressure. To just be honest, I really love the whole studies people do on meditation, because I believe it is very important for people to also maybe understand that meditation is not some esoteric bullshit, but it really works, because I think a lot of people think that way, I haven't actually seen a person that was like that, I guess. But you can totally kind of encounter some sort of these person or these people, like, yeah, you can just, it is just what it is. But yeah, mindfulness, something that I have done as well. If I haven't told you, I think it is great. I don't know. The next thing is breath awareness meditation, something that I for sure did, and something that I totally believe is also good, not only in form of meditation, but I think just, focusing on the breath. Also, when you're working out is very important, but just, I don't know, something I think that James Clear said is everyone should have one conscious breath a day. And this would just then be enough of meditation, basically. So just really have your conscious breath right now. Have it right now. It is amazing, I guess, by just breathing in consciously and just really noticing the air flowing through your nose, just in your lungs, and just feeling it. Also thinking about the temperature of the air, how the air might smell, how it feels in your lungs and in your nose. These things, it is just really great in my point of view. But let's see what they are actually saying about breath awareness meditation. So breath awareness is a type of mindful meditation that encourages mindful breathing. You don't fucking say. Practitioners breathe slowly and deeply, counting their breaths or otherwise focusing on their breaths. The goal is to focus only on breathing and to ignore other thoughts that entire minds, or that entire time, or that enter the mind. As a form of mindfulness meditation, breath awareness offers many of the same benefits as mindfulness. Those include reduced anxiety, improved concentration, and greater emotional flexibility. The thing is with Headspace is that you're doing just, first of all, the mindfulness thing, the body scan thing, and you're doing breath awareness. It seems to be actually the case that they have actually been thinking about how they structure the thing. Pretty great. And I also like the speaker in the guided meditation thing. He is great. He sounds good. And the next thing is Kundalini or Kundalini yoga or yoga, whatever it is. So Kundalini yoga is a physically active form of meditation. As I said before, there is actually a way of doing meditation actively that blends movements with deep breathing and mantras. No, you know what? It's just amazing that seeing them there. Mantras are actually those things that I think I was talking about before as, those tags that you're just, saying over and over again until they get into your fucking mind. I think they're called mantras. I guess they work, but I don't know. People usually learn from a teacher or do a class. However, someone can learn the poses and mantras at home. Similarly to other forms of yoga, Kundalini yoga can improve physical strength and reduce pain. It may also improve mental health by reducing anxiety and depression. A 2008 study of veterans with chronic low back pain, for instance, found that yoga reduced pain, increased energy, and improved overall mental health. I totally believe that yoga is something good and something great. I don't know how practical it actually is. And if it is actually better than just working out, because, if you are just doing yoga, it's going to take a certain period of time. And, some people do not have 2 hours a day for first hour doing yoga and the second hour of just having a workout. Therefore, what should you do? What should you be doing? I think pretty difficult. But the sixth one is the Zen meditation. Zen meditation, sometimes called Zazen or Seizen, is a form of meditation which is Z-A-Z-E-N. Is a form of meditation that can be part of Buddhist practice. Many Zen practitioners study under a teacher because this kind of meditation involves specific steps and postures. The goal is to find a comfortable position, focus on breathing, and mindfully observe one's thought without judgment. Again, this form of meditation is similar to mindfulness meditation, but requires more discipline and practice. People may prefer it if they are seeking both relaxation and a new spiritual path. Definitely. So why not? And the seventh one is transcendental meditation. I've heard transcendental once before. I don't know if I've pronounced it correctly. Probably not. But the thing is, I've heard it before, but I don't know what it is. I'm not going to look it up because I don't want to bother you actually. But maybe you don't know it as well. Therefore, let's just see. Transcendental. Relating to a spiritual realm. And the German translation is actually the same. Thanks a lot. The transcendental importance of each person's soul, relating to or denoting transcendentalism in Kantian philosophy, presupposed in and necessary to experience a priori. In mathematics, no. So relating to a spiritual realm. I see. So transcendental or scandal. Well, yeah, meditation is a spiritual form of meditation where practitioners remain seated and breathe slowly. The goal is to transcend or rise above the person's current state of being. During a meditation session, practitioners focus on a mantra or a repeated word or series of words. A teacher determines the mantra based on a complex set of factors, sometimes including the year the practitioner was born and the year the teacher was trained. An alternative allows people to choose their mantra. This more contemporary version is not technically transcendental meditation, though it may look substantially similar. A practitioner might decide to repeat, "I am not afraid of public speaking," while meditating. People who practice transcendental or transcendental meditation report both spiritual experiences and heightened mindfulness. What they were talking about, like nearly kind of just psychedelic things, I seem to have them as well to some degree when I'm meditating, which is the best part about it. Like, I'm honestly, and I'm not bullshitting there, I'm really feeling like I'm in my fucking head. Like, I'm just so deep in my body because I'm so deeply concentrated on either my breath, on thoughts that I was having, thoughts that I'm having. It is insane. It is extremely good, and I just really noticed like it just is just doing something good for my body and for my mind, something, well, yeah, I don't know, but it just does something good for my mind or brain and our body actually, which is amazing, which is fucking amazing, because it really feels good. It really feels strange on one hand, but it feels good. But it is actually not the case for or in every single workout. Like, it's gonna just depend on how you're feeling, how serious you are about this meditation session this day, and other things. So, yeah, you should, well, yeah, you're gonna see it for yourself, I guess. There might be some other factors as, for example, being hungry, and because of this hunger that you're having, you might not be as concentrated as you could, and other things, as I said. But yeah, I hope this was actually somehow good, this episode. But meditation was actually something that I was quite interested in, or pretty interested in, just because it is so, well, first of all, it is pretty trendy, which might or might not be good. It just depends on how you think about trends. And I believe it actually helps, because I'm doing it, and it is a part of my life, and I'm not going to miss it, I guess, and I should also not miss it. Still, it would be just interesting to see how I would be feeling without having this. But I honestly do not want to fuck with this habit of meditating every single day because, well, yeah, I don't want to fuck with that. But yeah, thank you for watching and for listening. And this was the end, or this is actually the end with this episode or of this episode. I wish you the best health, happiness, and success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're gonna be remembered. Which is actually like your legacy, because we totally have it in our control. Even though you can't be the nicest fucking person on this fucking planet, still there's gonna be one person that's hating you, or not gonna be your friend, or which is not loving you. It is what it is, just to let you know and maybe warn you, I don't know, or just to point it out as well. Maybe. But yeah, with that being said, thank you very much for listening and watching again. I see you the next time, hopefully. And yeah, I'm pumped. And I'm already pumped for the next episode that I'm going to record after my workout, I guess. And or after me having eaten something. But yeah, I'll see you. Fuck.